everybody, and welcome back to the Fairy Tale Family, where our goal is to put a little bit of magic into your everyday. I'm Chelsea, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 strategies that we use to make every year a bit more magical. I feel like this is a really appropriate way to start off a new decade by placing intention in how we spend our time and how to make it the happiest, best, most fun time that you possibly could while balancing your day-to-day life, your day-to-day obligations, being a parent, working, etc. So let's just jump right in. We're going to be going to some cut clips in this video showing you how I in fact do these things and what they look like. I'll also be referencing future as well as past videos to talk to you about some other resources that you can gather for free to help you live your best life in 2020. So tip number 1. Now, tip number 1 for me is not just something I do at the end of a year or a decade. It is something I do routinely, but it is get your house in order. And this is not just an idiom. I mean this quite literally. So if you saw our most recent video, which I will link above, I did rather, a beauty item purge. One of my 2019 goals was to use up more products because I tend to be the type of person who purchases something, gets really excited about it, uses half of it, and then either donates it, gifts it, tosses it, lets it sit for 3 years. So one of my goals for 2019 to be more financially responsible was using the products I own. So I went through every single product that I used in 2019, which left a lot of open space in drawers in my closet and vanity area. I've also been doing regular and routine clothing purges because I am in the middle of a weight loss journey. And I physically, as you'll see here, cleaned my home. Now we do have a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual cleaning schedule, Mark and I do, with assigned tasks, because this helps us both feel accountable and holds us accountable for what we need to do in the house. If you're interested in like a copy of those for yourself or your family, I can turn them into freebies. Could you let me know in the comments below if that's something that you'd want? But it has helped us for sure. So you'll see me cleaning and tidying up the living room, cleaning and tidying up the kitchen. But I want my house to be in tip-top shape before the new year starts so that I can go into it cleanly. You'll also notice that I had de-Christmased. I do this on December 26th. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen some of that process, which always looks like chaos until the end. But I have to admit that my house feels so naked right now without the Christmas in it, but I know it's for the best because it's also a very clean slate. We are ready to enter into 2020 clean. So this might be something that you need to spend more time doing. I will also link above my summer cleaning routine. I did a video over the summer, which was like a deep dive clean, and that might be something to help inspire you for you to have on while you're cleaning your own space. But I always like to do my knickknacks, meaning my beauty products, skincare, hair care, all of that shower stuff, all of that like self-care piece first, then I do clothes, and then I take care of the big picture. Callie's room is also one that I focus on, and that is currently under construction because we're redecorating it. So it is also being cleaned and purged. But don't forget about your kids. If you have kids appropriately aged, you can have them do this process with you, which will set up really healthy foundations for them for future years, and something that you do annually. We're gonna make sure that we do this every year in December after Christmas or before, which I also like to do to prepare for new items coming in, but it can be something that you bring your family into as well. So Callie is often tasked with, can you pick out 5 books, 3 toys, whatever, that you would like to see go to someone else. And we either sell these if they're in good condition, we donate them, or we bring them to her daycare and offer them up as like new to them toys, which our daycare providers are really open to. So that's tip number 1. Get your house in order. Clean up your space. I am a firm believer in clean space, clean mind. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is set your goals. I love goals. I thrive off of a to-do list. Here's my punch list for 2020, meaning these are all of the things I'd like to accomplish or at least get started on before the new year sets in. The blog that I most recently did is below, and that is physically how I go about setting my goals. Now, I'm not trying to take credit for the process. A lot of it comes from John Maxwell and Rachel Hollis, and Brendan Burchard, but I want to walk you through step by step how I set my goals, because it isn't just me thinking, these are things I would love in the next year. I used to do that. I used to brainstorm things that I would love to do or love to quit in the new year, but they never came from a place of intention. It was always just whimsical, which isn't a bad thing, but I like an intentional goal. So you'll see in this blog post how I do a calendar audit, how I break down how I spent my time, and then figure out what it is I want to do with my time in the next year. And how can my goals relate to what it is that I want to be doing? So set your goals, write them down. If you don't have a notebook where you record your goals or think, this is kind of like a Fairy Tale Family notebook only where I record business ideas and strategies, and anytime I take a class, I take notes in here, but you need a space for you to write down your goals. Thinking them, vision boarding them is really helpful, but if you don't physically write them down, how will you know what you're accountable for? Last year, I wrote my goals down, not only in a notebook, but I wrote them down very publicly in a blog post. So I link that in my most recent blog as well. So I reflect on, did I meet those goals? And for the first time in my memory, going back to probably junior high, like 7th grade, weight loss is not on my New Year's resolution. The relief that that brings me is palpable. It makes me want to cry, knowing that a goal that I've set for myself unrealistically from grades 7 through 12, and then semi-realistically in college, and then much needed after college, goal of weight loss or targeting a body area and really focusing negatively on that space in my person really impacts how I start the new year. Every year I would think, this is it. This is the one. I'm doing it this year. Next year at this time, I won't feel this way. And I don't, for the first time ever since I started setting goals. I don't feel like I hate my body. That's probably a separate video. And there's definitely in January a weight loss update coming up because I'm approaching my 6-month anniversary of my weight loss surgery. But I just thought I would put that out there. If you're struggling with weight, if you know that's one of your resolutions this year, girl, I am here for you. I hear you. I feel how you feel. I understand how angry, shameful, and embarrassed you are to put this on your resolution list again. But you can do this. You can do this. Even if it means going the distance and having the weight loss surgery, you got this. So I'm here for you. Message me, post below. I love you. I love you. And know that you have support from people in your life, even when you don't think you do. Set your goals. Set big goals, friends. It's a new year and a new decade. Set those goals. Number 3, organize your calendar. So this like piggybacks on number 2. So You need a physical calendar. And when I say physical, it can be a Google Calendar. It doesn't have to be a physical calendar. I like both because I'm extra like that, but I like a family calendar where Mark can add to it, and I like a Google Calendar because he tends to add, my husband only tends to add like on the physical calendar, not on our digital shared one as well, and that's fine. That's fine with me. So on your calendar, what I need you to do is I want you, after you plan your goals, to figure out what are the things that make you happy? Like 3 to 5 things that you can do that make you happy. Now, sister, listen up, because you have to schedule those things. These can't just be things that you're just occasionally gonna build in. One of my things is massage or spa treatments, like pedicures, manicures, full body treatments, all of that. I love those things. And when I looked back on this year's calendar in 2019, I only had one massage last February. Okay, if this is one of the things that reconnects me to myself and makes me feel good about myself, do we think I should be scheduling in more than one massage? Maybe 2 for this year. Let's get crazy. And yes, I get or have in the past gotten regular manicures like every 3 to 4 weeks. I will get 4 to 5 pedicures a year. Like this is not a pity party about like, ooh, I only got one massage, but it's one of the things I love. So I need to make sure that I'm finding ways to schedule it in. The other piece here is if you love it, you have to schedule it so that when I come back in 2020 to prep for 2021, I can get an accurate look at what in fact I did spend my time doing. So I wanna make sure I'm building that time in, okay? So organize your calendar. Do you want a weekly date night? I do. How can we schedule that in? Do we want to do fun activities with Callie? Seasonal fun activities that take us out of the house, potentially take us somewhere else. Let's schedule those in. And then we have to budget for them. So there's a financial component that goes along with this organizational piece, but if you get your calendar in order and you kind of put on the calendar what things you want to do, then you can start figuring out how to intentionally set aside the budget or the finance to do that. Okay, so that's number 3, organize your calendar. Number 4, book the trip. Book the trip. 2020 is the year, friends. Book the trip. Now, again, there's a financial piece to this. This could be a weekend away for you and your partner or you and your child. This could be a full-blown 7 to 9 day Disney World extravaganza, which of course we, the Fairy Tale family, are in support of. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't have to be a European cruise or a 5-star luxe hotel. It just has to be the night or the 2 nights. But you've worked for this. Book the trip. Book it. We're gonna do a video upcoming on how to afford and get away for the weekend in Disney World. And I'll be putting all of our financial tips and tricks in that because we just did this in November. But no matter your financial situation, you can do a 24-hour vacation, a 48-hour vacation, even if it's in your own state. Do you hear me? We just need to book the trip. Let's give us something to look forward to. Let's give us some planning and excitement building for this new year. But book something. Book a trip. Look out for deals. But book it. Book the trip. Do it. Now is the time, sister. And you can do it for next December. So you have a full year to save and plan. But give it to yourself. Give yourself this gift of an experience. Schedule a little mini vacay, a staycay even, but you gotta book something, okay? That is one of the ways that we make our year magical is we tend to plan out our vacations 3 to 5 years down the road. So we have right now a New York weekend scheduled where we're gonna see a show. On Broadway, we're gonna see Moulin Rouge. We just booked our hotel this weekend. And that was actually a gift from my mom for Christmas for Mark and I, my sister, her husband, and my brother and his wife. So it's an adults only weekend, but that's a good tip too. Like for your birthday, for Valentine's Day, for your anniversary, instead of physical items, like let's do some experiences in 2020. Let's get something new under our belts. Shake it up. So I'm pumped to go to New York. I love a New York weekend. And it's become like a bit of a thing where I need 1 to 2 a year because I love that city. Oof, I love that city. We also have an epic vacation that we've been working on in August. We've been working on this vacation for a long time, but we're flying out to Disneyland in Anaheim for a couple of days, and then we are headed back to Aulani in Oahu, Hawaii. So that's a big one. That's a doozy. You're gonna see a ton of content about that definitely this year, but we did this 5 years ago. We did Aulani 5 years ago, pre-Cali arrival, and we have been jonesing to go back. So we think Aulani is an every 5-year situation, at least for the time being, but we're really, really excited about that. So we've planned our trip. We're pumped. The last tip number 5. If you follow us on Instagram, you've probably heard me talk about this, but you need a gratitude practice. For you, that could mean journaling. It could mean meditating. It could mean more reflection time during the day. But I spend part of every morning writing down 5 things I'm grateful for in the past 24 hours. And these are not life-changing huge things. They're like getting eyelash extensions, Callie sleeping through the night. What else did I write down this morning? Oh, seeing Disney on Ice yesterday. Setting my goals for 2020. Like these are all practices that are going to make you a happier, more grateful and thoughtful person in this new year. And that all brings magic into your life because you're happier. You're a better version of you because you're looking for what to appreciate. It's all about that mindset shift, right? So any type of gratitude practice. Let's recap, shall we? 1, get your house in order. Purge, clean, tidy, get it looking good. 2, set your goals, sister. The bigger, the better. 3, organize that calendar to reflect how you intentionally want to spend your time. 4, book your trip. Book it. It will be worth it, I promise. And 5, number 5, set those gratitude intentions. I promise you, if you complete these 5 pieces and you are consistent, you are going to have the best year of your life. And I can't wait to start mine in 2020. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure you see in the description box below. We are running a giveaway right now for how to enter, and we will see you in the new year with new content and can't wait. Bye, everybody.